What is up, guys, gals, and you awesomeens and gamers of different shapes and sizes? It is me, Joshua, Proxy, bringing you some Titanfall 2 today on the PlayStation 4 Pro, and it's going to be pretty freaking awesome. It's actually on the map Boomtown. I have actually been giving myself a little bit of a mission to learn all the names of the maps, because originally I was actually saying what the name of the maps were. This one has a really cool name, Boomtown. Pretty much looks like a pilot training facility, which has this really cool, like, if you look into the far distance, and it's actually part of the campaign in the main game, which is really cool that Titanfall 2 has a campaign. Definitely recommend playing it because it's really, really awesome. Alexis won't, so please judge her in the comments. But if you look into the background, you can kind of see, like, it's like a hologram dome also that's kind of like falling to pieces. Really cool, nicely designed. Would love to know your opinion though in the comment section below. But today we are playing some Titanfall 2, showing you some G2 combat along with some Ronin, and we're actually playing with Alexis, which is really cool as well, because one thing while I've been here in New Zealand is been trying to hang out with my chums, you know, get some games in with my pals, as I like to say, Proxy and pals, but it's pretty much just pal at the moment. Because it's one of those really odd things where there's barely any time zones, and, you know, to kind of like align with, where everyone can kind of like get on at the exact same time. As you do know, you do have networks in Titanfall 2 where you can get like a group of people, everyone can play together, but everyone is in a completely different time zone, so it's really, really difficult. But I've been having so much fun playing Titanfall 2 still, and that is kind of what the topic today is all about. And it kind of goes along with the term of how, as you know, there's already been the first DLC batch, so we've actually had some brand new aesthetic skins, we've had some really cool kind of like banners brought out, we've even got a brand new map, which is Angel City, which is not a reimagining, I wouldn't really say, but a remaster or a rebuild of the original Angel City from Titanfall 1, and it's really badass, really, really awesome. I've shown you loads of gameplay of it, and I hope to show you even more in the future, but it's one of those things where obviously we're going to get even more DLC in the future. A lot of it is going to be free, and a lot of it's going to be paid for as well. Obviously, one of the main ones is kind of like Titan Primes, I guess they're called, and another one is kind of like the skins and potentially weapons and things too. I think they pretty much said that if there's anything game-changing, then it will be free. So anything aesthetic, obviously you will pay for to kind of support the developers and everything like that. But when it comes to kind of like weapons and new Titans and even new maps, you know, it's something where we have to kind of like wait for it very, very patiently. But it's kind of made me wonder, and again, this is kind of the main topic about DLC, is does Titanfall kind of need a more consistent level of DLC to support the game? Because at the moment the game's kind of been left to the community. It's all based on kind of like the community playing it, seeing how much they love it and how much they can kind of play the same thing over and over again. And the great thing about Titanfall 2, especially with its gameplay, is that it's quite dynamic. It means that you can actually experience a lot of different things through that kind of like samey gameplay and still have a lot of fun with it, which is cool, which is why a lot of people play Battlefield and Call of Duty, because even though they're playing within those same maps, those same modes, with those same weapons, against those same types of enemies, the experience of going against like different people, you know, different human players of different skill levels is really cool and really awesome, especially since you have these Titans in the game, which just makes it even more epic, having this kind of like clash of, well, Titans, which is maybe that's the whole term of having them called Titans, I'm not too sure. But it's this thing where, does it kind of have to kind of go along the same line as, say, like a game like Paragon or even League of Legends, like these MOBAs, where we're seeing like a brand new character get brought out, or like in this instance it would be kind of like a brand new Titan or something? Or do you think that'd be too difficult because obviously you have to balance a lot of things? Now, I personally would think that it'd actually be a lot cooler if they did actually bring out like a little something every single week, just for people to salivate over, just something to people to come back and check it out, potentially unlock, even if it was just like an execution or a bunch of new color skins or something like that. Now, obviously we know that they want us to buy those things now in future content, because they already give you so many free skins. I mean, pretty much the only things you can unlock in this game are the Titans from the beginning, but then just color schemes for every single Titan, pilot, and weapon. And so it's this thing where, do we want just like a little thing, like a tiny little nugget of an unlockable or something, but what could those things be, and how do we make it so that it continues to be a consistent thing and allows us to enjoy the content they provide? Because obviously having a nice giant batch of DLC, as we saw the first one with the 2 Prime Titan skins, and then having all those new color schemes, and then also having the brand new free execution where you teleport into an enemy, which I hope to show you one day, but you actually have to unlock it by executing 50 different pilots, which is obviously kind of like a little bit of a job in itself. I would think you can actually see Alexis there in her own time, which is really, really cool. Was that Alexis in her own time? It said green. Is she just running around? She may be just running around somewhere hiding and murdering in plain sight. But it was this kind kind of thing where I kind of really want some like little bit of DLC just to pop up, to show itself every week or every few weeks. Like with Paragon, I think it's every 3 weeks you get a brand new character, which is really, really cool. And they've actually been really awesome characters too. Like every single DLC character, well, not DLC character, but added character in Paragon, I have loved so freaking much. They've been so awesome, so good. And even with that, they've even added in little game modes. They've actually added in a brand new map, which is awesome too. And so it's kind of this thing where, do we need kind of like AAA titles to become like the MOBA? Do we need them to actually have that kind of support like MOBAs do? And we've actually seen this with a lot of games as well, like say with Overwatch or with even Gears of War 4, which I don't play anymore, but obviously I do actually see the news about it, how they're bringing out new skins and things over time through the packs and stuff. Now, it's one of those things where we don't really want to see packs get brought into Titanfall, I don't think, or maybe we do, I'm not too sure. Maybe that would be a cool thing, I don't really know. But like, as you had with say like Titanfall 1 with the burn cards and things, you can actually buy packs of those and you get different ones and stuff, and you didn't actually have to pay for them or anything like that. It was all in-game cash, which was great. But it's this thing where, would it actually be beneficial to have like a little kind of like loot crate kind of thing that you could work towards in Titanfall? Do people like that kind of like content to unlock and things, or is that something that you just find really tiring and really old now? It seems to work really well with say games like Overwatch as mentioned, or I don't know what other games. I mean, the Gears of War 4 ones is kind of like a little bit iffy because a lot of people are complaining about it with the microtransactions. So it's one of those things where if you do get consistent content, maybe they would have to balance it out with kind of like you paying for it. But I don't really want it to be that. I want it to be like these little tiny free things. Now that might be asking too much, I'm not too sure. I mean, again, you combat my opinion with yours and you let me know what you think, but I'm just trying to wonder what you could actually do. I mean, this must be something, and it's not me saying that the game's boring or anything like that. I love Titanfall 2. It's actually one of my favorite games to play this moment in this time of year. I mean, it is 2017 now, so hopefully it will actually stick with me until 2018-19 unless they make another Titanfall, which would be even more awesome. Could you picture what they could add to another Titanfall, or just add on top of Titanfall 2? And again, it's just consistent content. It's this thing where you wouldn't even have to make another game, just add more to Titanfall 2, please. Like, one thing that'd be really awesome, and this is something to do with kind of, again, with the original Titanfall, because they did actually add content over time with Titanfall 1, is that I would really like to see the return of the co-op survival mode. Like, I think a lot of people are actually waiting for that, and I know me and Alexis are really waiting for that as well, because we want to play that so freaking much. It was so fun in Titanfall 1, and just having that kind of ability to not really worry about the community that much, but just kind of like play by yourself against hordes of AI in your Titan is really, really exciting to think about. Now, it doesn't really matter this much now because obviously you do have the campaign. The campaign allows you to ride around a Titan. You also get that really cool narrative too and stuff like that. But there was just something fun about kind of playing with your friends against waves of AI and stuff, which was kind of nice. And also that kind of idea of maybe doing it as a survival mode, maybe not defend the generator as it originally was in Titanfall 1, but just something like that. Like, again, that's just like a little piece of content, just like a little mode or something, just to kind of like tide people over. And people go ape shit, or ape shizzle, should I say, when it comes to survival modes, when it comes to co-op and things like that. And Titanfall really suits it. I think Titanfall is one of those kind of games that really kind of like feeds into that kind of co-op mentality where you have to work together with your team. You can be a badass by yourself in this game. Can I kill that guy? No, it doesn't look like it. This is something that's been having a bit of an issue with. You may notice that person has still a lot of health. This is because I am playing actually in New Zealand and Alexis is actually in America, so we're actually playing in the American server, so sometimes the health doesn't actually go down when I shoot them. You may notice there on the right side my ping is in high. It's actually in over 150 like MS, I think it is, which is really worrying. So a lot of the time when I've been in New Zealand here playing Titanfall 2 for you, my internet has been so bad, and it's just, it seems that New Zealand is just not built for online gaming. Like, I even tried to go into the Sydney servers and nobody's playing Titanfall, or even any other game, which is really weird. It doesn't seem like New Zealand is much of a, like, country for gamers. Maybe it is because they get, like, all the games and all the movies and things last, and obviously their internet sucks balls, but it's still just a major shame, don't you think? I tried to shoot this guy in the butt cheeks, but suddenly he does actually get saved by a piece of metal cover here. Having a Ronin battle, this is what we want to see. Actually getting backed up here by a fellow Titan, which is a Legion. Legion seems to be getting a little bit bullied at the moment, I think. I feel like it's a little bit underpowered compared to a bunch of other Titans, but it is really good to see Ronin actually stand a chance now. Obviously, it's one of these things that over time they will balance stuff, and, you know, we'll actually see things get really, really in the middle, and it's like a thing, I really hope it's not kind of like, again, with like Paragon or like a MOBA or something like that, where they kind of balance it way too much, or like Evolve. Evolve suffered heavily from that. Look at that awesome, sexy finisher, that was badass. And we even got a kill from a pilot there, which is really cool too. But it is one of those things where I hope it doesn't end up like Evolve, where obviously you did have the monsters and you had the hunters and stuff, and they were constantly kind of like, not balanced, but patched. You know, the developers were always patching it, and it was so freaking... Oh, look at that awesome mid-air shot there by me, and then landing in a tree like frickin' Mowgli. But it was one of those things where they did overpatch, and they did make it so that when they ended up leaving that game alone now, because obviously they lost the contract with 2K Games, the game was left in a state of imbalance now. So I really hope that Titanfall doesn't like end up like that. Like, it does feel very balanced in a sense when it comes to Titanfall 2 and all the Titans, but there is that kind of thing where now we do actually see Legion feeling a little bit weak, like Scorch, North Star's really good, Ion still is like, it's gonna be one of those weird things. Like, if we do actually compare it to Evolve again, I would kind of see like Ion as Goliath, and they both are really incredibly balanced for what they are, and they don't really need messing with, which is fantastic. But I would kind of like to see maybe Legion just get a little bit of love, possibly, potentially. And even with that, what if you could actually give the Titans like a new weapon? Maybe that could be the slow drip of things that could be the DLC that I was talking about. Like, just like a new unlockable thing for the Titans. Like, it feels like the Titans kind of, once you get them, that's kind of it. Like, even like their abilities that you can equip them, things like that, are really, really easy to, you know, like, just unlock and use and things, and it'd be kind of awesome to just like have some little thing to unlock that isn't just skins. Like, maybe it could be like a brand new weapon. It feels like all the Titans do actually deserve another weapon. Like, what could you have? That's actually even another question. Like, if you did actually do a DLC weapon for the Titans, what would it be? And obviously it would be free, because they did say that anything game-changing would be free. Oof, I don't know, like, if it was a Legion and he already has a Gatling gun, I mean, it wouldn't be a railgun, because that's obviously North Star. I mean, it could be like a... Could be a flamethrower, because maybe Scorch could have a flamethrower, that'd be really cool. Like, it'd have to be really consistent though, but also not dealing too much damage. Ugh, that's just difficult. It's really difficult to think. And this is the thing, maybe that's why it takes them so long to make these kind of things, because it's one of those things where you have to really decide and develop what it actually could be that you could give these Titans. Now, we're actually going to go for a really badass battle here, I believe, which is against a Ion, or is that a Tone? I'm not too sure. They're actually using their electrical smoke there to try and cover their tracks, and we're going to try and go for an assassination here. But it seems like he's actually running around over the bridge doing a loop-de-loop against me, but I am actually able to use that bridge to my advantage to get a little bit of covering, because remember, I am actually playing as a Ronin, when that means I don't really have much health. He actually goes under the bridge again, trying to take me down, but no, going in for that melee finisher. Oh my goodness, that pilot cannot escape in time, and slash him a doo-doo. That is a shish kebab. Now we're actually going to go for the enemy bounty AI as well. Remember, we are actually playing Bounty Hunter, which means we have to go after the enemy kind of like AI NPCs and take all of their awesome monies and then cash it in. Not something that I've really been doing at the moment. As you can probably tell, I actually have nearly 500 in-game credits, which is crazy, and so I should probably go and try and find some kind of like little banking thing to actually cash that in to help my team. But you may notice at the top of the screen that we actually have nearly one, which is awesome as well. So that pretty much means we're actually going to be nearing the end of this match, which is pretty exciting, because again, we do like to see our victories, but also I do love to show you my defeats as well. But also it has to be an epic defeat. I generally only show you the epic defeats. But then again, like, one thing I kind of find impressive is that while I'm not very good at games like Call of Duty, I am actually really good at Titanfall. I don't know if it's because of the fast pace, because I'm used to things like, say, Unreal Tournament and Quake, but I seem to whoop a serious amount of ass when it comes to Titanfall. I don't know if anybody else kind of like feels that. Like, there are some certain games that you can be good at, and some games that you can't really be good at. Like, I used to be really, really good at Black Ops 3, and then when I moved on to Infinite Warfare, I felt like I wasn't really good at Infinite Warfare. I feel like there was just something about it that made me not really click with it. Like, I don't know, like player skill-wise, I'm not too sure. You let me in the comment section below if you've ever kind of like felt that relatable kind of experience when it comes to video games as well. Like, maybe you may be really good at one first-person shoots but not really good at the other. Let's know all that kind of stuff. Also, murdering people before they can escape in the dropship. One of the most awesome things ever, and kind of like a change in the tide, because generally I do die when trying to chase people down on this bit, so it was really good to kind of like assassinate people while they kind of like run away. I did actually warn Alexis here and say, someone's going to try and shoot you in the back. She didn't listen to me and she ended up dying. But anyway, it's me, Josh, Game Proxy, bringing you some Titanfall 2 today on the PlayStation 4 Pro and at Boomtown. Hope you enjoyed it. Comment section below, let me know what you thought, and don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and why not subscribe for more Titanfall 2 content in the future. But I will see you all next time. Ciao for now.